Cr1t from Evil Geniuses. Hello there.
Hi.
How the tournament is going for you so far? I've heard you had some issues with PCs in practicing. So.
Yeah, we had a couple of hiccups here, but other than that, the admins are doing really well. The hotel's nice, so I think we'll be fine until tomorrow where we start playing. So yeah.
Yeah. So today you're mostly.
We're just watching the games pretty much. Yeah. We're not playing.
I see. But this tournament is apparently not that decisive for you in terms of getting invites to Kyiv Major. It's more or less, I would say, obvious for your team. Yeah. So does it make things easier for you, not feeling that pressure, responsibility? What's your mindset and expectations for this event?
I think other teams than us are want to win more than us. They have like a big desire to win. Some of these teams haven't played that many events, and they have to prove themselves before the regional qualifiers, invites and stuff like that. So I would say there are other teams that want to win really badly here, whereas we are here mostly to get better, learn the new patch. So for us, it's more like a learning process. And I mean, obviously we want to do well, but we want to learn more than anything.
Which team do you consider to be the toughest opponent for you at this event?
I mean, obviously for us it's OG. I think it's the team that we have the most respect for, obviously, because they beat us a lot of times at this point. So I would say OG, yeah.
Yeah, even Peter mentioned in his interview that he believes this roster is capable to win the next TI in the case if you figure out how to beat OG. Yeah. So what can you say about that? Do you see some weaknesses as a former player?
I think we learn more and more every time we play them, and I think when we lose to them, we learn more than they learn from us when they win. So in that case, it's good for us. But I mean, they're a good team. I can often when we play against them, I know what their idea is and what they're gonna do. And
you know some kind of internal kitchen.
I know. I just know like how they want to move on the map, and I have an idea about how to respond to it. But sometimes it's hard for me to give it to my team, and that's just something we have to look at specifically when we want to play against OG. So we'll see how it goes next time. I don't know. There's a long time until TI, so hopefully we'll learn until that point at least.
Yep. And comparing these two teams, the previous one and the current one, OG and EG, I mean, management structure, organizational stuff. Well, you played for OG, which was players' own team, and you left for EG, like more traditional, classic organization that providing to players some stability, salary, care. But things change right now, and it turns to be players' owned as well.
Yeah.
Well, does it matter for you?
I would say the reason I joined EG is because I knew it was going to be stable, and I knew that there was not so much that I would have to do personally. I didn't have to put too much thought into it. And it was a nice start for me. Like I just had to go into the team and focus on my play and being a captain and stuff like that. And now that I feel like I'm integrated into the team, it's fine to go back to the player-owned type of thing. There's not that big of a difference. I would say EG has an advantage because it already has sponsors and stuff, which is the biggest part about it. So it's not that big of a difference. I mean, last year as OG, it was kind of hard for us because we had to find our own sponsors and stuff like that, and we started from scratch. But joining EG is more like it's already built up, so it's good for us.
Mm-hmm. But you had a similar issue choosing between Alliance and OG. As far as I know, there have been some rumors in 2015. So what were you driven by back in then?
I didn't actually choose between OG and Alliance. I was playing with both of them, and No-Till was talking with S4, and it was just decided between them that it was better this way, that they got a Swedish player and then I played with OG. So it wasn't really my decision. I could have played for Alliance too. It wasn't really my choice, but yeah.
Their decision to go with Swiss.
I think it was just everyone agreed that it was better for Alliance to get a Swedish player, and then OG went with me because it was an international squad and they had No-Till, right? So it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, but when you started playing for Monkey Business, you probably did not expect to reach that high level. But yeah, to the end of the season, you set a certain level, right? And finishing top top 12 in the international might upset you a lot, yeah? So did you manage to keep that roster somehow? Have this roster any chance to be kept or no?
The EG or the OG?
OG.
The last one?
The last one, yes, after the TI.
I mean, I think there were some issues that were going to be hard to resolve, and I think it was. I don't think it could have been fixed. It was like a matter of personalities clashing. Personally, I didn't have any problems with any of the team, but it was just a mismatch that I think like over the time built up to be something worse and worse for us. So I think something just had to happen, and I think me moving to EG was, I felt like being 1 year with OG was fine enough for me. Like 1 year was good, and then I wanted to try something new, and I didn't want to do it halfway through the season. That would be pretty bad, both for OG and for the new team. If I wanted to join a new team, so I thought after TI that it was a good opportunity for me to try something else, and I also thought it wouldn't damage OG. So that's why I thought it was a pretty good time.
Well, did you see this coming? My point is that was the international like this decisive moment, or maybe you decided for yourself that if we're gonna fail, I would leave. If we're gonna take top 4, I would stay. Or
no, there was nothing like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had a point. I think it was actually like around the last Dota pit, like right after Shanghai Major, where I was kind of sad about how the team performed, and I thought we were like not really progressing.
But you had some ups and downs.
Yeah, obviously, there's some downs, and at that point I talked to my parents, and they said I should stick with OG until after TI, and obviously it made a lot of sense, and I'm happy I did it. And then I think even if we placed higher at TI, I would have probably still sought like a new opportunity, like a new. Like EG is like the contrast to OG, right? So I thought I wanted just to try something else in my career.
So it would happen anyway?
I think so. I mean, it's hard to say because obviously losing TI like changes a lot of how you think, and it's impossible to say what would have happened if we placed top 3 or top 2 or whatever. But I think no matter what, I would have had a desire to join this team. I think so. Yeah.
But still, with new opportunities, you replaced Peter in his captain position. So does it mean for you that it requires from you much effort to put into this, to capture all this stuff, not being always position 4 support, but a captain, a coordinator, and as well a drafter?
Yeah, I mean, at the start, it was obviously a bit scary or like intimidating in some way. Like I didn't know what was going to happen. I had to think about it for myself and evaluate myself if I was going to be able to do it, if I was going to be able to captain a team. But after a short while, after we played at the MDL, I realized that it wasn't going to be the same role that Peter had. Like it was more of like a unity thing. Like we would play where everyone has like a sort of responsibility, and then towards the public and stuff, I would have the responsibility for the strategy, but in the game we all knew like who was responsible for what, and we all like share the blame or whatever. So it's not really comparable to Peter's captaincy because I would say it's quite contrasting in that way, and yeah, it was just something different for me, and so far it's been good.
Going back to his interview, he touched upon the issue of balancing between RTs and Sumei. Like you have 2 or even sometimes 3 core players in a team, universe. So how do you manage to figure this out? If someone's shouting for you, hey dude, I need help, yeah. And 3 of them, what do you do?
I mean, I think it's a lot about those 2 between themselves, like between Sumel and RTC. And I think they've done a good job so far at knowing when which of them have like the game-winning role, like who has to win the game for us. Because it switches from game to game depending on the strategy and the draft. But it's hard to say for me. I haven't felt like any issues with it so far. I feel like they're like pretty open to admitting when they make mistakes, and their communication is pretty good. So I think it's okay, and I think both me, Sai, and Sahal realize that we have to play around these guys because they're like. We know what we can expect from them, and in most games we're going to have to be playing the supporting role, and they win the game for us.
And going back to Peter again, what is his role right now? He's only CEO, or he's taking some part in the training process?
No, he's not part of the training for the Dota squad, but mainly management for EG. Yeah.
And Clinton's?
Clinton is coach first, so he's like at events and at the majors.
And he's here
Yeah,
with
he's
you
here too.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, would you share with us any plans of you and your team for the nearest future?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. After this tournament, we're gonna have a break for a month, and then I mean, personally, I'm gonna go on vacation. I think most people will take a rest, maybe stream stuff like that, just try to develop on their own. And then at the beginning of March, we'll get back together and we'll be in our team house for a month, from March to April. And then we'll go to DAC and then Kiev Major, and then we'll take it from there. Obviously, we're going to practice for both of those events at the bootcamp. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. Wish you best of luck. Maybe you have any shout outs or call outs before I let you go?
No, I don't think so. Shout out to our sponsors. That's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again, and thank you for watching. Traditionally, stay tuned for more videos to come. Bye.